Moving on to the next keynote speech, let us also watch the video remarks from Ms. Sari Hamoya, National Secretary of Planning of Republic of Ecuador.
Excellencies, esteemed delegates and colleagues, I am pleased to join you today at the high-level forum on multi-stakeholder partnership on behalf of Ecuador. Through this video, I want to address with you a pressing issue that threatens our collective progress towards a sustainable and equitable future: the urgent need to scale up financing for the SDGs, which are essential for the well-being of our planet. Since the adoption of the SDGs in 2015, we have witnessed significant progress on resource mobilization. Developed countries have committed to allocate 0.7% of their national income to international cooperation. However, not all have managed to achieve this goal. It is essential to evaluate both the real capacity to channel these resources to developing countries and the capability of developing countries to execute these resources efficiently and effectively. It is also crucial to address these disparities to achieve the established goals. Without a doubt, we, as recipient countries, can make a significant progress from our institutions. A robust national planning aligned with the SDGs is a cornerstone for maximizing the impact of ODA. I am pleased to highlight that in Ecuador, our National Development Plan presents a 94.4% of alignment to the SDGs, demonstrating a clear strategic vision and a comprehensive approach to addressing not only the country's most pressing challenges, but also the global ones. Ecuador has adopted a multi-level governance approach implementing the SDGs, in which local governments play a fundamental role. Our NDP serves as a strategic framework that articulates the actions of all levels of governments, ensuring that local actions contribute to the achievement of global goals. It is essential to have innovative financing mechanisms that respond to realities of developing countries. It becomes crucial to promote an inclusive approach that considers the capacities of each nation to execute funds, although this must be based on common standards for planning and monitoring. A single parameter that ignores individual needs and unique characteristics of developing countries must also be avoided. As a reference, in Ecuador, we have sought innovative financing alternatives such as the issuance of the region's first sovereign social bond for housing for $400 million, which allowed thousands of Ecuadorians to access to their first home. In addition to the debt for nature swap operation, where an international bond swap was carried out to achieve a reduction in the public debt stock of around $970 million. Part of the service of the new debt is allocated to finance projects of public interest for the benefit of the Galapagos Islands. Our national sectoral policies, plans, and commitments are also aligned with our NDP. In this context, the development of our second National Determined Contribution, NDC, represents a significant milestone, with an action plan that guarantees coherence with the SDGs and the mobilization of financial resources in the future through green and blue bonds. This NDC, scheduled for presentation at the end of the year, will consolidate our search for sustainable solutions to the challenges of climate change. Despite the efforts to secure financing, Ecuador, like many other developing countries, requires fair and equitable access to development funds. Ecuador is establishing clear and consistent standards for the allocation and the monitoring of these funds. Likewise, standardized definitions and the application of the ODA should be integrated into each country's strategic planning in order to be able to evaluate the real impact of these resources in our economies. As a developing country, we have understood the importance of adopting responsible internal measures that can strengthen our institutional capacity, ensure current income in order to generate economic stability through strategic political decisions. We must foster the active participation of our stakeholders, such as the private sector, academia, and civil society, and renew our commitment to multilateralism as a fundamental pillar for achieving our national and global objectives. Finally, as we approach the Summit of the Future, developed countries will renew their commitment to the implementation of the 2030 Agenda, and developing countries have great expectations for the opportunities this may generate to guarantee the mobilization of the resources needed to accelerate the implementation of the SDGs. In conclusion, the challenges of SDGs financing cannot be solved in isolation. We require collective action based on management, trust, and transparency. Only through a concerted effort we can overcome these challenges and fulfill our promise of a sustainable future for all, leaving no one behind. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Rihamoya. Okay. Yes, ladies and gentlemen,